If you can't control what comes out of your own mouth, you think you can control what is coming at you? Hence why a lot of people believe in the devil doing something, because they don't want to take responsibility. Honestly, they don't want to be. They don't want to say that. You know what? I actually got upset because of me. I'm actually this way, because of my choices. I'm fat because of me. No, nobody is making you fat. Don't you dare tell me I was born to be fat. This is the funny thing. If you can contain and control anger, you think you can fight a devil, if there is one. You think you can fight an enemy that you do not see. Anger that is in your emotions, you can't control it. If you think you can fight something that is not seen, according to you anyways. If anger is controlling you, you think a God is difficult for a God. Emotions. Your physicality, if your physical self is controlling you, you talk about a spirit self. Akwaba. Welcome to the Miraculous series. I'm myself, Kojo Benti. Always a delight, always excited to come your way. Definitely. I hope by now you're definitely signing up for the crowd. That is going to be an amazing festival. It's something you definitely cannot miss. It's happening from the 25th of September all the way to the 1st of October. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited about it because it's the first one. There's the first crowd that we're doing. We always do the annual sacrifices, but this time we decided to twist it a little bit and give you an opportunity for you to have a conversations with your craft. And especially if you've never had a divination before, come to the divination, cleanse your craft, feed your craft. The entire day is dedicated to you. That's if you're born on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The entire day is dedicated to the day you're born. Let's do some spiritual work. There's no way. There's absolutely insane amount of testimonies coming out of this place. Within a year, we definitely have testimonies. And I'm excited about this. This is why it's necessary you sign up to the Crowder Festival. With a power stick, you have an advantage of everybody else that don't have the power stick. So you can actually order a power stick today, give you an advantage to be in the program, and obviously it's going to be an amazing time. Let me continue what we started. I'm still on the subject of responsibility, and I want to start here. Once we start accepting responsibility, we propel ourselves to a place where we give ourselves the opportunity to see different ways in addressing situations that we find ourselves in life. You understand? So life is certainly always giving us countless, always giving us countless opportunities. Now, the difference between those who are succeeding and those who are not is basically those who are taking advantage of these opportunities that they come across. So significant. So it is your responsibility to ensure your responsibility that whatever you come across in life, whatever situation you come across in life, you jump on it. We are not created to be under situations. We are not created for situations to swallow us. We are not created to think about it right from your conception. I mean, talk about your physical body. What's a situation? You had to fight. You've been fighting more than you know. You've been fighting more than you can ever even know, presume. You understand? So you saying that, you know what, I'm taking responsibility for this, automatically you propel yourself to this place. This place where everything is seen differently. You don't talk like the way everybody else is talking. You don't move like everybody else is moving. You never reacted. Why? Because you're possessing the ability to respond sensibly to everything that comes your way. We suddenly become a people who are constantly seeking solutions rather than apportioning blames. Because if you take a responsibility of everything that is happening in your life, now you're literally saying is that I want answers. I want solutions. I'm fixing this. I'm doing this. This is not just happening. This is happening because of me. You don't run away from things that are happening, right? Where every time I come up in this place, something goes wrong. It's an opportunity for you. It's to your advantage. The reason why something is going wrong every time you show up is because the dimensions, the multi-universe, the cosmic, It's challenging you to actually surpass that situation that almost always keep you going away from where you're supposed to be. If everything was supposed to just happen the way it is, then what would be the distinctions in anything? Everybody would be everybody. But you are different, I am different. The reason why you can handle this and I can't handle this because you are more built for this than me. And simply means that I'm handling the situation from a whole different point of view than you. Once you find yourself in this place, your ability to create a constant flow is always responding excellently and very creatively to every situation rather than reacting to them. Let me say this again. Once you find yourself in this place, your ability to create a constant flow is always responding with excellence. Once you come to this place of responsibility, right, you come into alignment with a flow state. Now, when the situations, when things encounter you, or when you encounter things, it just happened that fast. Your responsiveness just go that quick. You begin to just, that instant, affects change. You begin to all of a sudden, you can be thrown so many. One of the things that I love to do is actually answer questions. I don't like to teach this way because this way is like a bit funny. But once you ask me questions, it keeps me going. Why? Because moving from a place where I didn't like to be asked questions at all in class, I was one of the quiet people in class. As a matter of fact, I didn't want any confrontation. I didn't want none of that. But the minute I started taking responsibility and I started taking charge of the situations that I come across in life, all of a sudden, I can't wait for your next question. And I don't even have to know the question. But the minute you access the solutions, the constant flow, the divine flow, the fluidity of nature begins to set in. And answers begin to follow suit every question you're asking, simply because I'm training myself. So I'm not saying just today, all of a sudden, when you start saying I'm taking responsibility today, then everything start happening smoothly. No, you go through some turbulences, but it's good. Because you need to train your system. You need to be able to come to a place where you can stand regardless of what is going to happen. You already have solutions for it, even before the questions is asked to you, or the situation appears before you. Your response ability would keep enhancing themselves. This is when you become responsible. Your response abilities would naturally begin to equip themselves, begin to skill themselves up. So if before, when any situation confronts you and all of a sudden you get mad, you get upset, you get now all of a sudden you're not doing that anymore because your ability to contain the tedious situations all of a sudden gets enlarged, right? Get expanded. And now the very thing that used to be chaotic to you, all of a sudden it seems different. Like that, wait a minute, why was I even getting upset all the time about this? Loads of people get to ask themselves this question. Why was I even upset? Because you've built more room, you've created more avenues to be able to take the very thing that you used to run away from. All of a sudden, your tenacity begin to increase, your tenacity begin to grow. And now you're just coming into a place where you are able to handle the very things that used to crush you. It's exercise. You have to train yourself. You have to learn. You have to skill yourself up. You have to plan it. When you sit in the seat of absolute responsibility, mastering the ability to respond to every single situation accordingly, you would automatically become the focal point in every environment that you find yourself in. Now, all of a sudden, everybody begin to converge to you. Once you learn to respond, all of a sudden, people begin to see that he is so wise. Once a challenge is brought up in your workplace or whatever you find yourself, everybody would want to run to you. Everybody would want to look for you. Have you ever seen your group, your colleagues, or whatever it is, whenever there's a challenge in the office, have you ever seen them running towards the guy or the man or the woman that is constantly getting upset? Have you ever seen them running to the person for solutions? No, they never come to you. They always go to the one who's cool, calm, and collected. They look at him like the father of the place, or the wise person of the place, or the counsel of the place. Why? Because every time they go to the person, the first sign of somebody who is actually responding and not reacting is silence. They practice silence. They learn to listen. They have the ability to pay attention and listen to you. They just want to hear what you have to say. They want to listen to hear what you have to say first before anything else. That's the ability to be able to respond to things. When whatever is confronting you, you have the capacity to just sit and chill and relax and say, okay, I'm listening. You have the ability to just watch people go on and on and on and on without you lifting any finger or changing your countenance or passing out any stress signals. You're just quiet, calming down within your abilities, within yourself. You just kind of just listening, just watching, just holding on and just watching. Okay. Just silence alone would naturally. And of course, in silence, you learn to control the situation. You tell yourself that I'm taking it easy. Every single person in the place will begin to come to you. It's not even arithmetics. At this level, there will be no room for insecurities and emptiness within you. Most people are insecure because they are reactive. Most people are insecure in life because they are reactive. You understand? Yeah, a lot of people are empty because they are reactive. They say empty barrels makes the most noise, right? So once you see the person, it means there's no value, there's no virtue in the person. The person has nothing to offer you. But the ones that is silent, even if the person is perceived as a fool of the place, the minute they see that you're silent, all of a sudden they're looking at you like, I want to hear what you have to say. I want to know what you have to say. Everybody else can speak, but they would always want to hear what you have to say. When you become responsible, you would put yourself in a place where you have the absolute power and liberty to create life the way you want it. This is the part that I like. You begin to create life the way you want it. Every single thing that is happening to us every moment of life is our own creation. It's our creation. There's not a single thing that is happening that you are not creating it. Okay? Like most people don't want to agree. Most of the things we encounter in our early stages of life are things we created, choices we made before we actually came into this reality. But you don't know, I don't know, because you've lost touch with yourself. Right? So now you go through life and all of a sudden things are happening to you and you begin to go like, well, why is this happening to me? Well, it's happening to you because you chose it. But nobody actually took you through divinations, took you through the necessary channels, took you to do the right thing. So you have no idea who you are and why you're here and the capability that you brought into this dimension with. But once you begin to understand that, listen, I created this, I chose this. Right? This is what is happening. Now you're calm about it. You're collected about it. And now you're the saying, instead of me doing this way, let me just relax. Put this, do this, do this. Now we are creating a certain reality exactly according to how you want to create it. Every single thing else in this life would happen exactly as you want it. Most people want to see miracles. Every single day is an opportunity for you to create your own miracle. Why are you waiting on something to happen? When you put soil in the ground, you're creating a miracle of a fruit. You cease to be reactive to life situations, but rather become proactive to life situations. Meaning, things stop to happen to you. You begin to happen to things. Things stop going against you. You begin to go against things. Things don't just out of the blue from nowhere begin to work against you. You begin to work against things. You wake up every morning and your life will go exactly how you want it to go, because few hours before you decided that you allow things go this way and go that way. You decided, you are creating the reality that you're seeing around you. You simply create your reality the way you want it, because you are in control now. You mold the outcomes of your situations. Life just wouldn't happen to you anymore. You would happen to life. You are in control. You are creating the outcome. For example, if somebody just storms into your house, right? There's somebody you do not know, and a person starts going crazy. What do you think you should do? Should you also confront the person just as the person came in? What do you really want to happen in that situation? Let me pick this one. When somebody just ran into your car, bang, in the middle of the street, what would you do? What would you want to see happen? You certainly want the solution. The solution is to get your car fixed. That's the bottom line. But if you come out of your car and say, "Why are you crazy? Why did you do this? Don't you know how to drive?" You never know who the person is, whether the person is a responsive person or the person is a reactive person, right? So now you choose to go into that situation that way. What do you think the outcome is going to be like? But if at the end of the day, you are absolutely in control of the situation that you find yourself in, what would you want? You would want your car fixed. What do you have to do to ensure that your car is, because at the end of the day, who drove what, who did what, who angered who, doesn't matter. All those things don't fix your car. You want your car fixed. What do? You step into that situation 3 steps ahead of whoever got into the accident with you. Yes, you're in control. You know exactly what you want at the end of the day. You're in control. If you are in a relationship and you want your relationship to go in a particular way, you become aware, so you start taking control of the situation. If at the end of the day, if you want the man to do whatever you want the man to do, you think fighting the man is what is going to make the man do what you want to do? If you really want to have your way with your friends, right? That go out, spend time with your friends. What do you have to do? There's multiple variety of solutions that comes to your table even before you have the conversation with your man, right? But if you don't learn to take control of the situation, now the situation would begin to control you. Now the outcomes cannot be determined by you. In this life, you should be able to know what tomorrow is exactly going to be. You should be able to say, you know what, I want this to happen exactly the way I want it. And once you go into that life, things will begin to happen exactly as you want it. You simply create your reality the way you want it because you are in control. You mold the outcomes of your situation. Life wouldn't just happen to you anymore. Reactivity is enslavement, and it is our responsibility to emancipate ourselves from every type of enslavement. Why I say reactivity is enslavement is simply because once you are not in control of what you are going to do in the situation, how are you not enslaved? Because that situation is what is controlling you. Let's say, as we sit now, should the weather change and the rain start pouring right now, right? Should the weather change and the rain start pouring right now, what do you think we will do? Instantly, everybody begins to look for shelter. Everybody begins to look for a place to hide. That's what happens when the rain falls. But if you are somebody that your value to life has nothing to do with what you have on, the things that are valuable to you is nothing to do with what's in your pocket, what you're wearing, the clothes you're wearing, the fabrics, everything you're wearing, right? If you are that person, you don't even mind when it's raining. And because you understand that, okay, I'm a person that don't value much about physical things or material things, once you're walking in and before you leave your house, there are certain things you don't carry on you. There are certain things you don't have around, especially when you know that, okay, there's a possibility that the rains are going to come, right? You don't put certain things in your pocket. You don't walk around with certain things. So now you are in control of the situation. Should the rain fall, you are fully prepared of that. So the rain wouldn't pour and you begin to react. That is not what would happen. Because you're fully in control and fully understand the situation that is about to happen and fully access the situation and want the situation to happen exactly how you want it, you would walk through the rain with no complaints. Most people get bamboozled by the rain, and all of a sudden the very people that are constantly saying the place is too hard, we want the rains to fall, the grounds are too dry, there is no food, the same people, when the rain starts falling, oh, the rain is falling too much, oh, it's raining too much. If you build your house in a flooded area, in a waterlogged area, what do you think is going to happen when it rains? You lose control of the situation. You are not in control of the situation, but you can actually decide the outcome of that situation and say that, you know what, this is actually a waterlogged area. So if I come and stay, no matter what infantries I put in, no matter what effort I put into this, I will definitely find myself in a place where when it pours, it's going to go against me. So in this case, let me rather move away from this thing. So you are literally controlling the situation. So once the rain pours, once the rain comes and it begins to ransack your entire house, you don't go blaming anybody because you made the right choice by staying away from the part of the rain. Responsibility, on the other hand, is pregnant with freedom. Responsibility, on the other hand, is pregnant with those opportunities. When you are able to create yourself the way you want, you're able to create the life the way you want, you'll be able to create your life the way you want it as well. Hence, the subject of your destiny being in your own hands. If you decide that, you know what, this is exactly what I would do whenever I'm encountering any situation, whatever anything confronts my life. When you are able to do that, you would also be able to go beyond yourself into the bigger picture and create the kind of life that you choose to live. You, nobody else. Just by deciding to go on the part of taking full responsibility of everything that is coming your way. The life that is happening around us are absolutely not in our control. You cannot 100% control everything that is happening around you. You can control where you stay, totally. You can control the kind of things you have around you, the kind of plants you have around you, the kind of environment. You can control if you want your environment to be very conducive or not. You can control all of that. That is all in your control. That is all within your reach. You can decide what kind of house you want to be in, what kind of house you don't want to be in, what kind of structure, if you want to live in a tent, whatever it is, you can literally control. You can actually control what kind of food you want to eat, what kind of food you don't want to eat. You can control all of these things, right? You can control whether you are an angry person, you're a bitter person, you're a jealous person. These are all. Don't tell me, I don't know, I'm just jealous. Nobody is just jealous. You are choosing that. Nobody is just envious. You are choosing that. These are choices that you make. The possibilities to life is all around us. The choices in whether we stay in this possibility or that possibility is all in your hands. It's all within your control. Don't leave it to the hands of some God or some spirit or some family energy or family curse. No, you are deciding that. Everything that is happening within you is your choice. You are deciding. The things that happen, the environment, in as much as technically you are actually choosing it, but let's even give it benefit of the doubt and say that you are not in control of that which is happening outside of you. At least you should be in control of that which is going in here. You should be in control of your emotions. If you can't control your emotions, how can you control an entire nation? If you cannot be in charge of your emotions, how can you be in charge of a nation? How can you be in charge of a company? How can you run a company and ensure that that company comes to a success? How do you do that? This is one person. This is you. This is your being. If you can't control you, who can you control? When your first reactions to life situation is outside of your reach, right? All the actions that follow suit will certainly not be an intelligent one. That's just what it is. When you think, I cannot control this, this is just the way that I am. You cannot control it. That's just, I cannot control the way I eat. That's just the way I am. I just keep eating everything. I can't just stop eating pork. I just love pork. I can't stop drinking. I don't know, before I know when I'm touching alcohol. If you can't control that, you think you can control the kind of life you want to live? Because these are external influences, external forces. If you can't control what comes out of your own mouth, you think you can control what is coming at you? Hence why a lot of people believe in a devil doing something, because they don't want to take responsibility. Honestly, they don't want to say that, you know what, I actually got upset because of me. I'm actually this way because of my choices. I'm fat because of me. No, nobody is making you fat. Don't you dare tell me I was born to be fat. It's accumulation. The things that you're taking in. So you have to learn to control this. Yourself. If you learn to control this, you will certainly be able to control the happenings of life that comes around you. When has anger ever done anything good for anybody? When has anger ever been good to anybody? I just want to know. Anger is the first result for most people whenever they are to react to life situations. How can you ever be calm? How can you have a calm nature? This is what is happening to you when you're angry. Your heart rate is out of proportion, right? Some begin to sweat. Some are not able to even coordinate the electromagnetic waves that are happening around them. Everything is ajar. How can you ever exhibit peace? Calmness. Once you allow anger to hit override, you practically concede to that situation and literally wave the white flag and say, I surrender. I'm just an angry person. Anger should be something that every single one of us is in if you can't, this is a funny thing. If you can't contain and control anger, you think you can fight a devil if there is one. You think you can fight an enemy that you do not see. Anger that is in your emotions, you can't control it. If you think you can fight something that is not seen according to you anyways. Have you ever looked back to your life and you went like, oh, I'm so glad, I'm so proud of myself. I was so angry. Everything was chaotic. I clap for myself. Thank me for putting myself in this situation. Have you ever looked past or looked down the situation that you got so angry and went like, I'm so glad I went through this? No. Every time you look down the memory lane of anger, you are disgusted by it. You are ashamed. You feel so sorry. And this is when you start doing this. Oh, I wish I didn't say this. Oh, I wish I didn't even say it this way. Only if I'd held back my tongue, this wouldn't have, the situation escalated. The reason why the situation escalated is because you decided to allow the situation escalate. If anger is controlling you, you think a guard is difficult for a guard. Emotions. Your physicality, if your physical self is controlling you, you talk about a spirit self. When you manage to set up your emotions in a place of anger, you automatically begin to fight against yourself and work against yourself. When you sabotage your own well-being by choosing to remain in a state of anger, then you are obviously choosing a lower form of existence as your way of life. There's no argument to this. And I'm not saying it's unethical to get angry or to have temper, whatever it is. But if you choose to make anger your life's definition, how do you expect the outcomes of your life to be any different than the way that you don't want to go? Because a lot of people want a calm atmosphere, right? But how can you create a situation of anger and expect that the atmosphere will be calm? As a matter of fact, when you are a person of anger, when you're constantly displaying and demonstrating anger, everything around you begins to die. Even the trees around you begin to die. Whenever you are in a place of anger, I want you to take this. Whenever you're in a place of anger, who do you think anger is affecting? Think about it. There are only two people your angry state is affecting. Yourself and whoever is at the receiving end. The first person that anger destroys is you. Don't you dare think, Oh, I broke every glass in the place. I destroyed the windshield. I broke down my TV. And there are people that actually say, oh, when you're angry, break plate. Like, you literally break plate. One of the shocking things, not so shocking because this is where the world is coming and it's okay, is hearing people say, I'm going for anger management class or stress management. I hear this, and if you wanted to manage anything, shouldn't it be the best things in life? If you want to manage it, I see they talk about stress as if stress is a resource. As if stress is some gold or some diamond or some wealth that your ancestors left for you. Stress management. I'm dealing with stress management. Why would anybody want to manage stress? I think about it. You want to manage stress. How do you even manage stress? It's either you decide to allow this come within you or not allow this. It's that plain. It's that simple. Why would you even ever want to manage? How do you manage it? Okay, so I'm managing stress for it to come to the lowest form. What is the lowest form of stress? It doesn't matter whether your stress levels are high or your stress levels are here. Stress is doing the same biological distractions within your members. This is medically proven. Then once you're stressed, once you're angry, once you're bitter, biologically, scientifically, you are killing the cells within your body. Most diseases, most sicknesses, diabetes, heart diseases, all these cancers, these are all caused by anger, stress, and pity, sadness, bitterness. This is what is happening to your body. You are killing yourself by thinking, oh, it's fashionable to be angry. It is not. It's suicidal to be angry. It's suicidal to be stressed. And now learn to manage stress as if it's some property, it's some mansion your great-great-grandfather gave you that you're trying to maintain. In this time, everybody is maintaining everybody. Everybody is maintaining something. You're managing mediocrity, you're managing sickness, you're managing pain, you're managing horrible relationship. The list goes on and on. You're the chief managing officer. Things that you can literally take out of your life. Don't spend time trying to control it. Your emotions are in your control. Everything that you want to see happen to your life is in your mouth. Once you say, I am taking responsibility, everything comes in line. Once every single thing comes in line, everything would happen accordingly. Nobody even have to try anything. It will just happen. Learn to be in control of your inner self, who you are. At least forget about anything outside. First step, learn to control everything in here. Once you learn this, once you are able to control you, the rest will fall in line. Anyway, once it comes to the teaching, we have to break things down. I'm so excited about CRADA coming up from the 25th of September to the 1st of October. Make sure you sign in. Go to our website, www.bigcrowd.org. Get your power stick. Be a part of what is happening in this house, and I promise you, things will never be the same again. Have a great time. I'll see you in the next episode. I love you guys.